Oof. I'm so sorry, Andy. I'm so sorry.
I would say that we fought hard, but we didn't do that. I would say that we were close,
I
but we
wasn't
didn't do
talking
that
about
either.
that. I'm talking about how you really need to like up your attire game. Your shit just doesn't match. The hat, the jersey, the
Damn.
jacket, just doesn't match, bro. Like,
I mean, come on, man. Listen,
yeah.
I'm doing my best. We're basketball podcasters. We're not Met Gala attendees, dude. You're killing me here.
That's right. Oh, the Met Gala happened yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, in the
Yeah,
news. There you go.
that's right. That's right. Met Gala. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, to your point, I'm sorry about the Cavs.
I'm not sorry. Knicks
Yeah.
tape, baby.
I'm such a big Miami
Yeah.
Heat fan now. Not even because I like Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat, but because I can't see the Knicks go to the conference finals. That's
you
just
know-
disgusting.
You know what's great though? The fact that Brian is over you, literally over you.
Like, what? Like, why
He's literally over you and literally looking down on you.
was that necessary? Really? Do you feel better
so-
after having said that, Jeremy? Like, oh my God, we got embarrassed enough. Okay, I'll take the hat off. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. Here, I got a Vegas hat here. I'll put this one on. Damn it. You guys suck, and so do the Cavs. I'm
It
pissed.
matches better with the green and the yellow.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker! Goes by below! Drops the sledgehammer! Good bucket. Kobe Bryant on a rack attack! Piece of it. Wade. Wade going right. Giannis Antetokounmpo over Chris Middleton. It's a physical game. Oh, my! Vicious slam in the face of Kawhi Leonard. Explosion, the finish. Down to three, down to two, it's a three. Good! Good! He got it! James Harden, a flamethrower! This guy's unbelievable. He is so fun to watch.
Well, this is Cut the Nets episode 20. We're not going to talk about the Cavs and their fall from grace after
Thank
a great
God.
season. We can go past that. The Knicks obviously are dealing with the Miami Heat, who are honestly a problem to deal with. Like, they're a huge problem. We'll get into that as well. Warriors still reign supreme with Curry's 50 points for now. The Game 7 beat with the Kings, that was a great series, but the Warriors took control. And then we have the Lakers and Warriors in the second round preview. LeBron and Curry. Is it round 5 now? Because, like, round 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's now round 5 against LeBron and Curry. Two heavy hitters. One of the greats to play the game ever made against each other, head to head. The Clippers are a joke. I'm sorry. The Clippers are a joke. I mean, as much as they have had success in the playoffs in the 2010s, they just never really like matched their potential. So it's really sad to see how the Clippers are going out sad again. Also, the Suns have no match against the Nuggets after Game 1. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I honestly, the Suns have KD and Booker, and that's all they have. They have to play them 40-plus minutes, which I complained about in previous podcast episodes that they shouldn't do. But they have to do that in order to win at least a couple of games. Finally, Celtics and Sixers preview. Joel Embiid is out for Game 1. Yikes. Anyways, yeah, cut the next episode 20. Let's start with the Warriors. Warriors still remain supreme. All right, so Curry, again, he's just, I don't know. What else can I say? What else can we all say about
Steph's
Stephen
gonna
Curry?
Steph. That's about it.
He really just makes it effortless, and he's just a maestro. He's a dancer on the floor. He really is. The Kings could not have an answer for him. Like, guys, let me ask you guys a question. With the Warriors win in Game 7, why do you think that they were lackadaisical in Game 6, like on their home floor in Chase Center? Like, was it because like they're like, oh, it's the Kings, we're the defending champs. Let's just sort of kind of go through the motions and we'll ease out this win and maybe try hard in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, what? Why do they lose so badly? And it kind of made them feel like they could have lost Game 7. I know they didn't, and Curry had to really just wheel the team to win, and along with Kevon Looney's rebounds. But did it really have to go 7 games?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much that the Warriors came out looking like lazy and kind of like unmotivated in Game 6, as much as I think there was just a huge sense of urgency in that Sacramento locker room where, our backs are against the wall and like we have a real chance of winning this back on our home floor as long as we take care here in Oakland or San Francisco, wherever the hell the Warriors play now. I don't even know.
The Bay Area.
That general area of California.
Yeah, that general area.
But I'm sure Mike Brown was in the locker room saying like, hey, seeing how well that we perform at home and how poorly they perform on the road, if we can steal one in the Bay Area, come back to our home floor, we should be able to have this in the bag. I don't think anybody knew that Steph Curry was going to, go ahead and throw a 50 ball on him, and Kevon Looney was going to rebound like prime Shaq was or anything. I want to give credit to the Warriors and Steph Curry and everybody that performed, absolutely. But I also thought the Kings kind of underwhelmed in this game, especially from a couple of their starters. The glaring thing, that box right there, Harrison Barnes, 4 points, really. I understand he didn't shoot that much, but like just a lack of getting involved. He didn't have a single rebound. Sure, he was sharing the ball and stuff like that.
He didn't do well his whole series, though. His performance in the whole series was lackluster.
Missed the game winner to potentially go up 3-1 in Game 4. Really just didn't show up whatsoever against his former team. You would have thought that'd been a prime spot for him to kind of show up and get his revenge, but just never really happened for the Kings. They never really flipped the switch to have prolonged success after maybe Games 1 and 2. And the Warriors' playoff experience kind of shined through, and they're moving on. And, the Warriors are going to keep on being the Warriors for now, I guess. They haven't lost in the Western Conference playoffs since, 2014 now? I think they got beat by the Clippers back then or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That was the last time. I mean, the last time they haven't lost a series in the Western Conference since 2015.
2015. Yeah, that's just insane. Like
whenever they went on that finals run, 67-win team. When the Warriors were like in their mid-20s. I mean, like, what a time that was.
Right?
Yeah. And Harrison Barnes was on that team too. Brian, what do you think the Kings have going forward? Like, is this just like a one and done thing? Like, do you think the Kings may need some more playoff experience, given the fact that they were faced the defending champs?
No, I mean the Kings are definitely back. They're so young and talented. They didn't make the playoffs in 15, 16 years. Obviously, to be honest with you, everyone was saying light the beam, Kings such as feel good story. They were riding the Kings. I knew the Warriors were winning the series. I think they have too much veteran experience. The dynasty's not over yet. But as far as Sacramento, they're definitely going to be back. They needed the experience. They surprised me with how well they played. But I feel like we got to give enough credit to Steph Curry here. Wardell Stephen Curry, the best point guard of all time.
Excuse me, what?
No.
Government name.
No.
Yes.
No.
And then also Kevon Looney
not
looking
about
like
to say
Dennis
that.
Rodman.
Okay,
with
that
21
I agree
rebounds?
with. That I agree with. But you saying Steph Curry is the best point guard of all time right now? No. Let's not.
He is. Especially with this team, if he wins with this Warriors team and ties Magic Johnson in rings, debate over. The debate is over. You can't make it anymore. Right now, it's a debate, and we can have it if you want. But if Curry ties Magic in rings, debate's over. What Curry has done for the game,
what he's done for the game, yes. But
Curry has the most. Curry has more points. He also just with that Game 7 NBA playoff history, new record 50 points, passing Durant in 2021. I don't know.
Curry got carried by Durant in 2017
but no, not
and 2018.
really,
Curry's performance in the NBA Finals isn't great. I mean, last year was probably his best, but honestly, it wasn't even amazing. Okay, it was his best because the last previous finals appearances have been lackluster, and he had to be carried by players like Andre Iguodala, who was a Finals MVP in 2015, which is like, why would you call him the Finals MVP? Crazy, because he defended LeBron. That's probably the reason why. But then you had KD join the Warriors.
That type of stuff too.
Magic Johnson, he was a Finals MVP. What? Actually, I don't know the number, but I think he's won a couple Finals MVP.
I would assume it's most of the years he was there. I really don't know who else it would be.
I mean, he also won 5 finals with while staying on the team and didn't have to carry the team essentially.
I mean, that's true, but Magic Johnson is also 6'9", playing point guard. He pretty much played 1 through 5 positions. Listen,
3 finals MVPs, yes. Magic Johnson won 3 finals MVPs. That's like, if Magic Johnson didn't play at that level, the Lakers would not be the 80s Lakers, the Showtime Lakers.
I mean, I agree, but Curry's also going up against players that are way more athletic.
The Magic went up against teams like the Pistons and the Lakers and the Sixers.
Yeah, they're good basketball
Sorry,
teams.
the Celtics, the Pistons, the Celtics, and the Sixers. Like the bad boy Pistons, the Celtics, Larry Bird.
Yeah, they're physical, sure, but Curry's going up against way more athletic people. He ran 190 feet just for 1 bucket, or whatever that was that I saw on SportsCenter.
Look, Curry's career is not over, okay? And if he were to be as good as he is, as good as he was in this series against the Kings, and take the Warriors to the finals and win another ring, then maybe we can revisit this conversation. I'm not going to even agree with you with 1 second. He's probably the 3rd best point guard of all time.
Who's number 2 then?
Whoa.
Jerry West?
I'm going with Jerry West, yeah.
Whoa.
The logo. I don't know.
Jerry West.
First of all,
John Stockton's number 4, by the way.
I can move on from. I can move on with you saying Magic.
We haven't even had Matt talk. Okay, let's revisit this conversation later. I don't.
Oh.
You have to agree with me that Curry's career is not over. If Curry retired right now, I would not say he's the best point guard of all time. He needs to.
I can move on from that, but putting him 3, that's outrageous. I know he's your daddy there in Houston, so you kind of have a vendetta against him. But damn. I'm not. Wow. First of all, Oscar Robertson is better than John Stockton. First of all,
he's number 5 in my opinion. He's number 5.
Damn.
But
that's my top 5.
You know, I will let
West.
I will let
Curry.
Matt talk because I'm not getting into this anymore. I'm mad enough. I'll let Matt talk.
Okay. Matt, can we get to the Kings and talk about De'Aaron Fox's?
Yes.
Matt, let's get to the Kings and talk about De'Aaron Fox's performance in Game 7.
Yeah. So the Kings disappointed me greatly. Me and my friends were pushing the Sacramento Kings agenda this whole series long. I had the Kings in 7. Was holding on to the Warriors' road performance as a serious issue. I did not see them getting 2 wins at the Golden One Center, which is kind of crazy. That 3rd quarter was just an absolute disaster for the Kings. Their offense just completely sputtered out. Sabonis was getting dogged by Kevon Looney. They just couldn't get a single rebound at all. Harrison Barnes, he's just out there getting cardio. De'Aaron Fox, nice. yeah, he played pretty bad, but then again, don't want to throw him bail, but that finger proved to be a downfall for him. I played well in Game 6, but he had 2 games where he didn't really shoot well. Game 7 being an exception. Kevin Huerter has been just bad all series long, and you had to insert Terrence Davis. He tried to give you a legacy game in Game 7. And just overall didn't pan out. Malik Monk didn't play good as well. Just their offense just ran out of gas, I think, in Game 7. And obviously Curry was just rolling by that time. So overall, pretty tough series for the Kings. I think you kind of just run it back with this team. I think there's not many outside moves you can make. But overall, I think they're back. They'll be a consistent playoff team. Don't know if they'll be the 3 seed again, but I guess we'll see because the West is always crazy. But you got to look at Harrison Barnes, and I think that's kind of the guy where you kind of question what he does on the basketball court because this whole series he was just non-existent, and you kind of expect him to give you more than 4 points in a Game 7. So
yeah. He's also not the greatest in Game 7s, averaging 4.8 points.
Jesus.
On 29% shooting on Game 7s. Matt, since you're a Lakers fan, let's go to the next series. Warriors and Lakers, round 5 against 2 heavy hitters in Bron and Curry. Yeah, I mean, who do you got, Matt? I know, as a Lakers fan, not as a Lakers fan, as you are a Lakers fan, who do you got with your unbiased opinion based on what you've seen out of both teams?
Oh man, obviously seeing Curry drop 50 isn't a great sign heading into Tuesday, but um, I think this series has to go 6 at the very least. Um, I would like to give the Lakers a slight edge, but I could very well see the Warriors taking this in 7. I think, again, it depends on if the Warriors are consistently able to win on the road. And it's going to be a big test for the Lakers because the Warriors are a good home team, and they definitely have their work cut out for them. They're not as good as a home team as the Grizzlies were, so maybe it's a slight edge, but overall, you got your work cut out for you. Our defense is first, I believe, in the postseason, so that's something to look forward to. And I think defense is obviously going to be a big key. You got to be able to navigate screens well and guard screens effectively to not get shot out of the gym, because obviously the Laker offense is not as explosive as the Warriors are. So you kind of just have to keep guys in check. And you can't have guys like Poole and Wiggins kind of get off as well. So overall, you got a lot of work cut out for you, and it'll be interesting to see how Darvin Ham matches up. I'm curious to see who's going to guard Steph. I wonder who Vando is going to guard heading into the series. So overall, Darvin Ham has a lot of adjustments to make heading into the series. So just from a basketball perspective, it's going to be one hell of a series. Obviously, LeBron and Curry as the main headline. So I think it's going to be a great series. Could very well see this go either way. So be interesting to see.
I haven't been this excited in a playoff matchup since they last faced in 2016. Like, I haven't been this excited since then. I mean, I know that they both respect each other when it comes to the game, but I know that they'll be trash talking each other, just like the Warriors and Cavs series back in the day. LeBron is 38 years old. He needs a lot of rest for every game. So I think that the Warriors are going to come out strong. They're probably going to take a 1 or 2-0 series lead. And then after LeBron's well rested and has enough energy and gas in the tank, he's going to turn it on into hyperdrive, I guess, if you will, and start taking control of this series. I could see this going 6 or 7 games, but since the Warriors don't really have any significant injuries, I see the Warriors taking this series. Because the Grizzlies were without Clark and Steven Adams, and John Morant was dealing with a hand injury, and then you had Dylan Brooks, who really couldn't shoot anything, and who's going to China next year. I'm betting on it.
Ni hao.
Pick up the phone.
Shanghai's calling.
Yeah. But it really will be interesting to see who will match up against each other. I mean, Curry. I mean, the best defender, honestly, I think you got Vando on there. I don't think D'Angelo Russell can really defend Curry that much. I know that they're going to switch on him. I don't think Kevon Looney will grab as much rebounds as he did on the Kings series, because you got Anthony Davis, who's a dog in the paint.
Yeah.
With those block shots. So I really think if Anthony Davis can be healthy and be very active in the paint, it'll be one hell of an assignment for Kevon. Klay Thompson, I think he's going to go off this series. He didn't really play very well much towards the latter half of the Kings series. I honestly, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but I do see the Warriors coming out in 7 games.
Yeah, I agree with Jeremy. I got the Warriors in 6 or 7, probably 7. But Jeremy, you touched upon 2 points I wanted to make too. Klay Thompson, in his 12-year career, he grew up a Laker fan, and he finally said that he's so motivated, and it's an honor to him that he's going up against his hometown team. So we know he's going to be motivated. I do think, like you, Jeremy, he's going to play better in the second round. He needs to. And as far as LeBron, with him being motivated, and like you said, trash talking Curry, they're going to. It's a rivalry.
It's inevitable.
It's their 5th playoff matchup between LeBron and Curry. Lakers do have the slight edge over the Warriors all time, 24-11 in the playoffs. Last meeting was the 1991 Western Conference semifinal. But we also know LeBron's not afraid to talk. when Dylan Brooks went up to him pregame, LeBron wasn't saying anything, kind of letting his game do the talking, being the mature 38-year-old as opposed to the immature, however old Dylan Brooks is.
Yeah,
But
who cares?
LeBron finally clapped back on Instagram. He goes, "If you ever see me fight in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear." So we'll see if
Mic
Steph
drop.
Curry's that bear. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And Jerry, to your point about LeBron resting and is going to need his rest and then explode once he has that energy, I think that he can't afford to be gassed like that because the Warriors are very well coached in Steve Curry, and he'll know how to pick that apart. And with Steph Curry running around like a maniac, running like 7 miles a game or however he does, I think they're going to do a really good job at tiring the Lakers out. And obviously, Anthony Davis is significantly better than Kevon Looney, but I think Looney will be pretty physical and generally hold his own because Davis is someone that's not, even though he is a beast, going up against a much more physical Looney could get him hurt, and we know his injury concerns are through the roof. I mean, there was like a graphic that showed his injury like on a body, and he pretty much had like every spot checked off. So the Lakers are definitely going to need him, and at the elite level in round one. But I definitely do like the Warriors in 6 or 7. But I could see either team going to the finals as well potentially. So
The finals.
it's a possibility. The West is wide. There's like
The West is
4
wild.
good teams, and it's these 2 matchups. The West is wide open in my book.
Even with the Suns and Nuggets?
Yep, West is wide open.
That's wide open. Okay. What about Draymond Green? How do you think his role will be in the series? I think he'll be a lot
If
more
he hit
animated.
if he hit a 3 like he did again, the Warriors are going a long way. I'm telling you, when he hits a 3, something about him.
There was that one game I know because like we watched game 1 or I watched game 1 against the Warriors and Kings, and I said in the Slack chat when Draymond hit a 3, the Warriors were going to win it. They didn't end up winning it.
Well, you know what the Warriors
that's a
record
rare
is?
that's a rare option though. That's a rare.
You know what the
feat.
Warriors record is when Draymond hits a 3?
I know it's a good one. It's a winning record. It's a
Record?
winning record. It's a winning record.
When Draymond
Rabbits.
Green hits a 3, the Golden State Warriors are 50-6. 50-6.
Like all time
That's a-
this year or
All time.
All
It's
time.
all time. It's all time.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll let him shoot. Don't worry.
Yeah. Let him cook.
Oh wait, sorry. That's the record when he hits 3 or more threes. I don't know what it is when he hits
That
one.
one.
Three,
He's hit
Jesus.
3 or more threes
Okay,
before.
well, so
This
let me
season,
tell you
okay,
about
this season, or sorry, last season when he had made 1 3, their record was 19-1.
Okay, that's even better. Even better percentage.
Yeah, no. About the 3 or more threes, I know one of those losses was Game 7 in the 2016 Finals because he ended up with like 27 or 28 points, hit like 4 or 5 threes, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the Finals MVP because of this performance alone.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Cavs outlasted them, and it was the greatest moment of my life, and nothing good has ever happened since then. But like, it was still a lot of fun at the time, just seeing it happen. Going back to your point, Jeremy, I think not only because the Warriors are definitely going to need him to step up when it comes to, helping out with Anthony Davis down in the post on defense, but also just a whole personal thing. He's such a big fan of LeBron, but he's been part of this matchup with the whole Warriors versus LeBron in the past too. That core of Clay, Draymond, and Steph has been there. They've been giving LeBron trouble since 2015 when they were matching up in the finals.
I think he'll start Draymond in this series. I don't think he's gonna put him on the bench because the Lakers don't really have spacing. Like they don't really have much shooters. I mean, they've had
that's
better.
a story.
They have more shooters than since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But not as much as the Kings. And you got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley if he can shoot. But I think they're giving up on him. You got who am I missing? Austin Reeves, who also can shoot. They got better shooters since the trade deadline, but they're much more of a inside team. They do much more on the inside paint. So I think the Warriors definitely are going to match their size.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if the Lakers potentially go big and try to include Wenyen and Gabriel on the floor more with Anthony Davis. I don't know if you guys think that'd be smart at all, but like when it comes to how Kevon Looney's been rebounding, if he really starts to be a problem, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world, especially if you have enough guys to guard the perimeter.
I think it'll provide more youth and energy.
Yeah,
because Gabriel's a lot younger, and that's what the Lakers definitely need. It'll be a decent option, and I'll see. We'll have to see how that plays out. You know what? I think that actually might work, because since the Lakers are a different team compared to the Kings are much more offensively focused with shooters and spacing and a great facilitator in Sabonis when it comes to kicking out to the wings and stuff. So the Lakers don't really have that unless you count LeBron or AD, but they're mostly offensively focused.
I also think it might be a Troy Brown series because against the Warriors in the regular season, he's been good at just navigating through screens, fighting through all of them, and plus he's got a rebound from this an absolute putrid first series. So I think he's probably going to get a definite look, at least in the first 2 games, and just see if he's able to just cooperate on the defensive side of the ball, be able to just fight through screens and stuff like that. Throw him on Clay or Wiggins potentially. And yeah, I think Wenyen's probably going to get like 5 to 10 minute stints. We saw it in games 6 and 5 of the Grizzlies series. And he was great energy, got some man ones, good rebounding. So overall, I think he's probably going to get a look again heading into the series as well.
All right. Let's go ahead and transition to the Heat, the Miami Heat. I always said that the Miami Heat are a dark horse contender. They're a sleeper build. Miami Heat is literally a skinny dude, but when he takes his shirt off, it's a sleeper build. He's got a 6-pack. He goes to the gym 5 days a week. Like, he is built.
Is that your type, Jeremy? Is that why you're bringing that up?
If I was gay, then yes, it would be my type. It would be. That's what I got. I got a sleeper build.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Pull it out.
You want to see?
Oh, okay.
Pull it out.
Wait,
Yo. Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Yo.
This is a sports podcast, Andy. All
Bing
right,
bong.
We're back.
Anyways, the Heat are a sleeper build. That's just basically my point. If you, Matt, could you pull up the YouTube video of Giannis at the post game? The Bucks. Let's just go back to them briefly. What an embarrassment! Honestly, what an embarrassment. Of course, I'm sure you all have all seen this video of Giannis at the podium, and one of the reporters, his name is Eric, asked him if he thought this season was a failure. Honestly, I like the response when it comes to an average Joe, but when it comes to the season as a whole, it was a failure, complete failure.
Yeah,
just first seed in the East. You got Giannis, who's an MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, won a ring in 2021. Still a contender for the next 3 or 4 years. Drew Holiday, all-defensive team.
All-star again.
All-star again.
Yeah.
One of the best defenders in the league when it comes to point guards. You have Brook Lopez, a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. You have Chris Middleton, who's supposed to be, Giannis's Robin to his Batman. You've got shooters all around. Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen. You've got Joe Ingles, DiVincenzo. Like, you've got so many really good pieces. And you just, I don't know. Like, when Giannis got hurt in game 1 and was out for the rest of the game and then missed games 2 and 3, I understand. Okay. But he was back for game 4 and 5. Also, the Bucks won game 2. In convincing fashion, blowing the Heat out.
Yeah, they won by like 30 or something,
yeah.
didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were shooting the lights out from deep. But, I don't know. Giannis needs to stop being like Shaq and make his damn free throws. Was 10 for 23 from the line, and in the last possession, he like wins the tip off, gives it to Chris Middleton immediately, doesn't want to get fouled.
Oh my god!
And that was such an embarrassment. Like, dude, he's scared, and he goes to this podium and talks about how this season wasn't a failure. Play the clip. So guys, tech difficulties. We can't show the clip. Never mind, but we can talk about it, right? Right, guys? We can talk about
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. So let's go to Brian. If you're Giannis, right? Imagine you're sitting in the podium. All right, let's role play it. Giannis, given your tough. Sorry.
My bad. That's my fault.
You guys suck. You guys suck. Come on.
Changing your facial expression. You're like, nuts. I was like, hey, no.
Damn it.
All
right, let's
lock it.
Do it again. Dude, lock it.
Wait, so you want me to like be like Giannis and answer it? You want me to give my opinion?
Your opinion.
Oh, because I was ready to bust out my Giannis accent.
Oh yeah.
You could do it with your opinion.
All right, we'll see.
So this is guys, this is exactly what Giannis should have said. And I have a perfect stunt double here to do it for us. Brian. Oh, I'm sorry, not Brian. Who's Brian? Giannis. What happened this game? And based on what happened, do you think that this season was a failure?
Nah, I can't do the accent.
That's so anticlimactic, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you disappoint me, Brian. Come on.
I can't. I'll just embarrass myself.
All right. So, yeah, Brian, what do you think this season was a failure for the Bucks?
So I watched the clip. Giannis was like fairly right for everything he said. Like, first of all, I mean, you saw him get pissed off. If a reporter asked me that, I'd just lose in Game 7 in the first round, which, yes, is embarrassing and a failure. I would get pissed off, and I'd probably be more rude, but I'd have an answer similar to that. I mean, like, I get it. He wants to defend his team and say, oh, Michael Jordan's the GOAT in 6 championships, and the goal is to get a promotion, and that's in your people's jobs, and that's what he's trying to do. But you know what? That season, 100% was a failure. You're telling me you're going to lose in 5 games a gentleman's sweep to the 8 seed when you're the defending not the defending champs, but
well, they won a chip in 2021. And
yeah, they won a chip in 2021.
They were in the West Finals or East Finals the season prior.
Yeah, and you pretty much have the same team run it back, and like Jeremy said, you have Giannis for pretty much every game in that series. Yes, it's 100% embarrassing and a failure. The thing is with sports is if you have championship aspirations and you don't win a championship, it's a failure. That's exactly what that was. It was definitely more embarrassing than the 2007 Mavericks Warriors. That was 100% more, or this was 100% more embarrassing. I mean, yes, the Heat are a great team, and I'll get into it later, but they definitely should have lost that series. The Heat have been so inconsistent. They were without Tyler Hero pretty much definitely majority of the series. That's a series the Bucks should have won and not been worried about. And so I definitely think it was a failure. And Giannis was trying to bring in all these comparisons to change the issue. I wish we could have got the video because I remember there was one thing that he said that like definitely made me like lose his opinion. And he sucked at the free throw line. He looked like when he won that series 2 years ago, won the finals 2 years ago against the Suns, and he could only make free throws in Milwaukee. He was looking like Shaq out there, bricking free throws and everything. And he had all the memes of like literally taking 12 seconds at the free throw line. It was his lowest minutes by Giannis in his playoff career, like at 91 total. Like he just did not look like that dominant. I don't know.
I was wrong. The Bucks they lost in the semis last year, but it was against the Celtics. So, a much better team. The Celtics went to the finals. So,
right.
I mean, yeah, they lost, and you can consider that a failure last season, but they didn't lose against an 8 seed in 5 games.
Yeah, 1 seed losing to an 8 is just. I mean, calling it anything other than a failure, I think, is just trying to discount and be a little more nicer to the 1 seed than you should be, because with all the weapons that you have, and granted, it's not all the entire series and a lot of the things that went on. It's not just that the Bucks lost; the Heat played out of their minds. Jimmy Butler played out of his mind. The entire team did. Duncan Robinson was shooting at a crazy clip. The entire team was. They were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league in the regular season, and then they came out absolutely just on fire this series. And I think part of that has to do with Mike Budenholzer not making adjustments down the stretch. He's a former coach of the year. The guy definitely knows what he's doing in the playoffs, but I think his plan to beat the Heat was simple. They are not a very good 3-point shooting team. Not let them shoot, but like you can give them slightly contested shots. A lot of times you would see like a high ball screen on whether Jimmy Butler was the ball handler, whoever ended up being the ball handler, and Brook Lopez would be guarding Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo would set the screen, and Brook Lopez is playing back in like drop coverage. And the Heat would either come off of that screen, since they're Brook Lopez is down in the key, and shoot just off of that. Jimmy Butler didn't shoot that many threes per game in the regular season. We see here he shot 10 in this game. He scored 42. There was other games he's averaging, shooting like 5-6 a game. That's usually not his game, but he was knocking him down this series because the Bucks gave him space. And the lack of the adjustment that just happened throughout the series just kind of let the Heat just outgun the Bucks for a while like that. It doesn't help that the Bucks, and their best player, Giannis, misses 13 free throws in a win-or-go-home situation for them. That definitely doesn't help them either. But I think people are talking too much about, like, wow, the Bucks really lost this. The Heat definitely won this too. Is this sustainable throughout the rest of the playoffs? I don't know. But I think this is a good point that needs to be brought up, that, as Jeremy said, this Miami team might as well be a sleeper build. They should be picked to maybe go further than a lot of people thought. Definitely more than I thought. I had the Bucks in my finals, but we don't have to get into that prediction.
Yeah, I had the Bucks as well, making it out of the East. I thought maybe you can make an argument they lose to the Celtics in the conference finals, but to see them flame out like this, and I know I said it in our Slack chat, Budenholzer put on a masterclass of how to get fired. He just did not call the necessary timeouts just at all, with 0.5 left in regulation.
Did he have anybody guard Jimmy Butler besides
I don't think so. Drew Holiday.
Was it Drew Holiday?
Never switch Giannis onto him.
Did you ever switch Giannis onto him? Yeah.
Never
like,
once.
Never. Yeah, like Giannis is the defensive player of the year. So he could have had Giannis on Butler, and Giannis would have loved that. Go ahead, Matt. Finish it.
Yeah, I think even in this press conference, he mentioned how they made 0 adjustments, and he said that he wanted to guard Jimmy Butler at some point in time when he started to get rolling. And another thing that I don't think is getting talked about enough is Jay Crowder just getting DNPs. A guy that you traded 5 second rounders at the deadline, and he's just not getting a look.
Nothing. Yeah, I saw that, and you saw his response too on Twitter. How he's like, I've never been on a team in a playoff series where I got no minutes to play, where I was DNP'd so many times.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then Bobby Portis as well, being basically spot minutes, 17 in this game, being a 6th Man of the Year candidate. And I think we're kind of nearing the end of this Bucks era. I think you have Chris Middleton, who's obviously not young. He's entering free agency. I assume he's going to decline his player option. You have Brook Lopez, who's 35 now. He's a free agent. And if you let both of those guys walk, it's just kind of a disaster. And I think if you're the Bucks front office, you're kind of in a corner here where you have to pay these guys, even though maybe like two years down the line they're going to look like pretty bad deals since they're somewhat aging at this point in time. Brook Lopez got back surgery recently, so the Bucks team is definitely aging. So it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves this offseason. The kind of numbers the Bucks are handing out to Brook and Chris Middleton this offseason, but yeah, just to go out like this is just very disappointing. And yeah, Giannis missed 2 games, 3 if you want to call game 1 missing the entire game. But yeah, you got to give credit to the Heat. They were up and down the whole season, and to be able to do this is absolutely insane. And yeah, it's more on the Bucks in my eyes. They just gotta to go out like this is just a disaster and unacceptable, honestly.
I want to also point out that, I mean, there are a lot more important things than basketball when it comes to your family and, how we take care of each other. So, with Coach Bud losing his brother in a car accident during the series, it may have had a huge factor on his coaching decisions and his overall well-being. So, we don't wish any harm to happen on any family member from any NBA player or coach or official. It's very tough for Coach Bud at this point, especially losing the series and a family member. So prayers out to him and his family, and we hope that he gets through it. And focusing on the game of basketball will be able to help him get through it. And I guess to your point, Matt, I think that the Bucks still are contenders with Giannis still, on the roster. It'll be interesting to see if he gets an extension on the Bucks. He signing that Supermax contract a couple years ago did solidify his mindset of playing for a team he was drafted from and not joining the likes of other All-Stars like LeBron or and Anthony Davis or like a James Harden or those kind of type of players. So Giannis is one of those like classic players where he plays for the team that drafts him and wins championships for the team that drafts him. So Brian, you mentioned that you had an opinion on Giannis. Did you want to address that?
Yeah, so first of all, Jeremy, you took the words right out of my mouth about Coach Budenholzer before I get to stuff about Giannis. I think that definitely impacted the way he coached, and even just like his facial reactions, like obvious and like body language. Like obviously he knew he had to coach this team, but he just clearly did not look in the right mental space. And obviously you can't when you lose a brother and then you're trying to coach a basketball game. Like,
yeah.
That's why, to Matt's point, I definitely don't think he should get fired because I think Budenholzer is just as important to the Bucks as a Chris Middleton or a Drew Holiday is, because he really, once he took over, changed that team. Obviously, like losing to the Heat isn't completely on Budenholzer. Like, it's not Budenholzer's fault that Bobby Portis, who was a 6th Man of the Year candidate, had 0 points. It's not Budenholzer's fault that guys like Wesley Matthews and Pat Connaughton haven't been as consistent. It's not Budenholzer's fault that Giannis can't make free throws. Sure, like the timeout, like misusage of them, or not putting Giannis on Butler, or not playing Jay Crowder enough. Sure, you can put that on him, but it's not completely his fault. But back to the Giannis point I was going to make, I remembered the clip that I wanted to say that where I really lost Giannis's point. He said that before the Bucks won that title in 2021, it's been 50 years they've had without a title. And he goes, was those last 50 years a failure? And he was trying to allude to the point, get the reporter to say like that no, it wasn't a failure for those 50 years because there was a process. What process did it get to? The Bucks didn't make the playoffs. What the Bucks didn't make in those 50 years? The Bucks missed the playoffs 19 of those 50 years. So that's kind of where I lost Giannis, and but that was it.
With the Heat moving on to the Knicks in the conference semifinals, Game 1 happened last night, and the Heat took one at MSG. Let's start with Brian.
I'd love to hear what Brian has to say.
Yeah, what happened here, Brian? Like, what were the key takeaways from this game?
All right. I'm going to try not to lose my cool. Actually, Jeremy, I think it's time I finally curse on this podcast.
Go ahead, man.
Tom Thibodeau's a fucking idiot. Like,
I could have told you that.
like Jimmy Butler, fucking star player, X factor of the series. He is going. The Heat are going as far as Butler takes them. Butler fucking gets hurt, rolls his ankle. It looks pretty bad. You take advantage of it. They didn't even target him the last 5 minutes of that game. The closest they tried was they did a little handoff to quickly Barrett sees that Jimmy Butler's there and goes, "Oh shit, I gotta pass the ball." No, you target him with a rolled ankle, especially when he had 3 fouls. That's one point. Point number 2. Hats off to the Heat. They Eric Spoelstra is a top 5 coach in basketball. It is insanely criminal. He doesn't have a coach of the year. The Knicks in the first half had 40 points in the paint. They simply solved that by pretty much building a wall in the paint, not allowing the Knicks to get in there, and that's kind of where the Heat won in a commonly choke in the third quarter by the Knicks, getting outscored 31-20. But that's option 2. Option number 3 is shooting 20.6 from 3-point, 7 for 34. I mean, that's not going to happen again. That's insanely unacceptable. Literally, if the Knicks just made 10 of those 34, which is 29.4%, and that's obviously not that good, but if you just make 3 more, you win this game. 3 more, that's all I'm asking. Jalen Brunson going 0 for 7. I'm not giving you an appreciation. The streak ends. You got to be better. You were paid $104 million, I believe, over 7 for 3. You said you were bad and you got to be better? Yes, you were. You got to be better. That's point number 3. Point number 4, why the fuck? Why the fuck is Obi Toppin taking 11 threes? Why? Pay me half his contract. I'll make 4 from 11, even though that's not that bad. Dude, you're getting left open for a reason. You're getting the Ben Simmons treatment. Stop. Listen, I know Julius Randle's hurt. Stop shooting the ball 11 times in a 3-point game. Also, Isaiah Hartenstein. The dude balled down in round 1. Where the fuck was he in round 2? Where the fuck was he in round 2? And you know what? Someone in our Slack made a joke that, oh, Jimmy Butler's going to be the hero or the villain of Madison Square Garden. He's the next Trae Young. First of all, Jimmy Butler, I love him too much to be the villain. He's not the villain. You know who the fucking villain is? It's Gabe fucking Vincent. This man has been fucking...
A role player? A glorified role player?
No. He's been that guy. He's been a bane in my ass this season.
He shoots threes.
Yeah, he had 20 points and plays defense. He's been a bane in my ass. In the regular season, he's going to be a bane in my ass this series. I already know. Quentin Grimes clearly looked like that shoulder was still bothering him. Julius Randle with a bum ankle, he's questionable for game 2. Jalen Brunson, what the fuck did he do to hurt his ankle besides missing 7 threes? How are you questionable? Jimmy Butler, he's questionable. He rolled his ankle. He's apparently walking perfectly fine. What did the Miami Heat training staff inject into Butler's ankle to make him walk fine? And can the Knicks get some of that to get for Brunson and Randle? Because without them, it's not looking good. Listen, as angry as I am, I'm still pretty confident in the Knicks. They're not going to shoot 20% from 3 again. They're not going to look this bad, I hope. The Heat don't have a lot of depth, so I'm not entirely worried. Kyle Lowry had a blast for the pass. Good for that fat.
Whoa.
Damn.
Were you about to say fat fuck?
I was close, yeah. And I like Lowry too, but he's so annoying.
Kyle Lowry had a blast of pass. Go for that fat fuck. Like,
Yeah, give it up for him, guys.
Also, the refs, they're awful. I don't even know that guy's name, but he's like Scott Foster level bad. Like, oh my god, the officiating was so one-sided, it was unbearable. But I'm not blaming the refs. That's why I put it as the last point. It's more, Tibbs, why aren't you attacking Jimmy Butler when he has that bummed ankle? Why isn't Isaiah Hartenstein playing more? Jalen Brunson, I know, will shoot better. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson now, I guess, have to be healthy. In all seriousness, I'm glad Jimmy Butler was okay. That didn't look good. I'm never going to cheer for injuries. Although I would like Jimmy Butler's flight to be missed, or maybe he oversleeps in the hotel, something like that. But you know what? RJ Barrett did play good.
Or
So,
maybe Michael Jordan just like arrives on his doorstep and says, "Hi, son. It's time to tell the truth."
They have like a bonding moment. He missed the entire game.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
You know what? The
yeah.
Utah Jazz did this to Michael Jordan. Speaking of him, they poisoned his pizza. It wasn't a flu. They poisoned
He
his
had a
pizza.
flu
We saw it in
game,
the last
but
dance.
then it's Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler has the flu, it's gonna be flu game part 2. Bars.
Nah, like father,
Okay.
like son. Knicks fans are crazy. They'll probably
All right,
put extra
he'll
points.
probably have 45 points or something. I mean, I know Jordan had 38 if I'm not mistaken, but Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan. All right, he is.
like
He's
father,
Michael-
like son.
He is. All right, I believe all the conspiracies based on his
I'm in on it.
performances in the playoffs. I believe it. Getting to Brian's point, Brian, calm your ass down. This game one.
I said I'm confident, as mad as I am.
Just it's game 1. All right, you can
Well-
whine and bitch and moan and cry and complain after game 2 if they lose, if they're down 2.
Well, hold on. Speaking of game 1 too, another
Oh my
bias besides the refs. It's
we
Knicks
gotta
versus
move
refs.
on, man.
It's Knicks versus refs versus Doris Burke. Doris Burke, Jeremy, I know you love Rachel Nichols for what she does off air.
I like Doris Burke too.
Yeah, I think Doris Burke did some off-air stuff with Jimmy Butler because she never shut up about it.
Every
saying.
podcast,
We about to every time Andy comes on, this is brought back. It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me this time.
And she even, speaking of, brought up the kiss of death for the Knicks, how the Knicks are 0-7 in series where they lose game 1. 0-7. Listen, I'm pissed off. I'm not going to sugarcoat
Look,
it. I am.
can
But I'm
we just
also
go-
I'm just as confident as pissed off. Knicks in 6. He'd have no depth. They have to win game 2 though, or it's actually cooked. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, the Warriors were down 2-0 and they won in 7. So, Brian, I think we'll be okay. Look, the Knicks are better prepared than the Bucks. Okay, they have nothing to lose right now. The Knicks. They've been in the playoffs for legitimately the first time since 2013 because they won a playoff series. I'm not counting 2021 because they had fucking Alfred Payton and like Taj Gibson on the roster in 2021. All right, so this is a legitimate team, Brian. I have no doubt that they'll win the series. No doubt, unless Butler goes off for every single game. Now,
Which he does.
if you look at the first 2 quarters, the Knicks won the first half. They were holding the Heat pretty good. But, as you know, in the 3rd and 4th quarter, if you just kind of go through the motions and kind of just let the Heat kind of just hang around for a bit, they'll come back to bite you. So the Knicks have to do what the Bucks didn't and hold them down with their elite level defense. Okay? That's what they got to do. You know, you got what? You had a Hartenstein going 1 for 1 playing what? Only teenage minutes? Is that correct?
I think he played 14.
Yeah, teenage minutes. That's it. You got to give more minutes to him. You mentioned how Hartenstein and Robinson are the Twin Towers. Like that, you got to give him more minutes. Okay? The Heat are a small ball team. The tallest player they have right now,
Cody Zeller, maybe.
yeah, who is literally receding his hairline. He's not good.
It's brutal.
It's bad.
That's
It's
the worst
really
hairline
bad.
in basketball.
It is. Cody receding hairline Zeller, okay, who only plays 8 minutes. So, Knicks, Brian, as to all Knicks fans all out there, you're fine. You just had an off second half. Get back in the gym. Say your bing bong, Joe Byron, whatever the fuck. All right? Say Knicks from New York. Play Frank Sinatra if you want to. Go grab some gabagool and get ready for game 2. All right, I'm done.
Go back to your shoebox apartment that you pay $4,000 a month for. Eat your stupid pizza. I don't like the Knicks, man. I'm sorry. I really don't like the Knicks. When the Knicks lose, America wins, and America won last night, so that was fun.
Untrue.
As the guy that just got beat by the Knicks in the previous round, but
Yeah.
Yeah, real nice time for you guys to go cold from 3, actually, right when you stop playing the Cavs, asshole. Seriously, it's like, oh, we're playing Cleveland. Let's just play 100 times better than we ever usually do. Oh, we're not playing Cleveland. Let's just go put our fucking thumb on our ass and forget how to play basketball. Like, what the fuck, guys? Absurd. Only against Cleveland teams. It's not ridiculous. I digress.
Whew.
Matt, you got anything to say to that?
2 words, Kyle Lowry.
He's thick.
2 words. Fat fuck.
Also, Kevin Love.
He's not fat.
Kevin
Let's
Love,
show-
quarterback one.
Let's show some love to Kevin Love for those 3 outlet passes. He's a quarterback.
Gorgeous.
If he played football, bro, like Kevin Love is a quarterback. He's a quarterback.
It's my hero.
Yeah.
Went
Also,
on
like,
game after.
whoever thought that living with a family with the last name as Love is amazing. Just what a great last name. It's great.
He should do like adult films, dude.
Yeah.
I need to change his name, just like
Kevin Love.
Kevin
Yeah.
Love.
He doesn't have to.
yeah, it's perfect.
Like he doesn't have to change his name to like Dirk Diggler or something.
That came out way too quick. I didn't like it.
No. Boogie Nights. You've seen Boogie Nights?
Oh, that's from Boogie Nights?
Dirk Diggler. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
That's a good movie.
But I
You should
know the
watch it.
movie, yeah.
It's a good movie. Yeah,
Okay.
watch Boogie Nights.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the Suns and Nuggets. I really don't see any sort of competition for this series, honestly. The Suns won against the Clippers and made it really easy because Kawhi and PG were out. All right, that's clear to see.
Yeah, the Clippers are dead.
The Clippers. We'll get to that team.
We'll get to
soon.
that.
We'll get to them. We'll get to them. But the Suns have pretty much no depth, and they tried to play all their bench for the first time in the playoffs. I mean, look at all those bench players who hadn't had a single game to play in forever. You had Damian Lee, Shamet. You had Terrence Ross getting minutes. Landale getting minutes. I mean, finally, Torrey Craig is on the bench, and they put in Josh Okogie, which I was like, great. But Josh Okogie didn't perform well. He performed great in the Clippers series when he was off the bench, but when he's a starter, night and day. Like it's basically the Kevin Durant and Devin Booker show, but they only played under 40 minutes or 40 minutes or under. You got to make them hit that 45-minute mark. Then it'll make it a series. It'll decrease their lifespan, but hey, it'll make it a series.
Yeah, no, I'm just watching the game as I'm seeing the Suns play. I'm like, dang, if they had a guy like Mikal Bridges or like Cam Johnson, they'd be really good. Oh, wait a second. Honestly, though, it really is. That's exactly what's killing them. They sold their soul for Kevin Durant. I don't think the series is like fully blown over, but my God, did Denver just run him out of the arena? Yeah. Did it just look bad? They're a 1 seed for a reason, man. They're a good team top to bottom. Jamal Murray is looking
actually a 1 seed.
Yeah.
They're actually a 1 seed.
They're actually a 1 seed, unlike, sorry, Milwaukee fans. But seeing Jamal Murray just do his thing, I don't think he's going to perform at the bubble Murray level every single night, night in and night out. But if he gets anywhere close to that, they still have the MVP candidate Nikola Jokic, and they really are much deeper than a lot of teams, especially the Suns right here. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., granted, he shoots a lot, but if he's hitting, I mean, how are you going to stop the guy? Let's see. He's only 1 of 4 from 3, still scored 11, but the 11 came when it counted. Jokic was doing Jokic things, almost had a 2020 game, it looks like. And Aaron Gordon, I mean, hey, he can do more than just run and dunk, I guess. He was hitting from outside, doing everything that needs to be done. KCP was smacking. Yeah.
Defensive decoy, man.
I mean, the Nuggets, man, what else is there to say? Mike Malone's got him operating at a playoff level right now against one of the big contenders in the West, and I expect to see them go all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think Denver definitely had a great game on Saturday. They did good. Aaron Gordon, like Andy said, definitely stepped up his game more. Also, Bruce Brown had a really solid game off the bench. 14 points, a plus 21, 3 assists, and 3 steals. That's a good game. Yeah, I mean, I still have some belief in the Suns. I think, like Jeremy said, they definitely got to up their minutes. I don't want them to kill the minute their dynamic duo like they did in the first round. So if they get in like the 42, 43 range, I think that's good enough. But Jeremy, I had a question for you. So you guys like playing devil's advocate. What's different between the Phoenix Suns and the Knicks, in your opinion? Where for the Knicks, you were trying to calm me down, say it's not over yet. I still got faith in them, as opposed to the Phoenix Suns, they're clipped.
Easy. Depth. One word. Depth. Look, say what you want. They had a bad game, the Knicks. Their bench didn't perform well. Okay, fine. But that's not what they're known for. That's not what they were known for with the Cavs. In the Cavs, they utilize their bench to the best of their ability. With the Suns, they barely use their bench. This is the first time in the playoffs they used, 8 players off the bench? They used maybe 2 or 3 players max in the Clippers series and gave minutes to Booker and Durant to 45 plus each game. That's the answer. Like, the Suns are cooked. I mean, yeah, they might win a couple games, maybe 1 or 2. But I got the Denver Nuggets in no more than 6 games. Like, the Nuggets, everyone's healthy. They got defense to completely sort of combat against Jokic's defensive liabilities and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. Jamal Murray's back. They got a really solid bench. I mean, I wish they kind of had Bones Highland on the team, but hey, they're still really good without him, bench-wise. And you got the playoff hero in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Wherever he goes, it's a good luck charm. It's a good luck charm. Also, you got Jeff Green, who's always that great journeyman who's banned from the NBA grid game. But hey,
Uncle Jeff.
Uncle Jeff. You got a lot of really good vets in this team who really know how to utilize their second unit. With the Suns, you guys sold your soul. You guys knew what you got. Kevin Durant's a great player. He's a great teammate. Doesn't really need the ball that much, but he comes at a really high price. You need a bench. You need strong defense. You lost it. Your plan is basically do what you did in round 1, but you didn't do it in the second round because you thought you could actually win because, no, you can't. You need to give Kevin Durant and Devin Booker at least 42 minutes plus to play. Nuggets in 6.
Yeah, I really like the Nuggets in this series. I was a little iffy heading into it, but yeah, just the three-point shooting of the Nuggets, having 11 more threes than Phoenix in Game 1. The Phoenix Suns just have a bunch of mid-range guys, and they're not really attempting as many threes as Denver is. Denver shot 37 threes as Phoenix shot 23. So I think that's probably going to be the series right there. If Denver's able to consistently shoot well from 3, I think this series is probably going to be over very fast. And DeAndre Ayton, he's getting worked already by Jokic, which is expected. But that clip of Ayton just standing there watching Jokic rebound is crazy. But
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was
the Nuggets didn't score in that possession, but like
Ayton was just standing there.
Like,
You could
you were in the
clearly
playoffs.
Clearly see Aiden just
Crazy.
just checked out.
Yeah,
That's wild.
No, I don't know if that's like a motivation thing from like the coaching or like the veteran presence, but going back to Matt's point about the mid range, I was going to bring up the same exact point. Because if you look at the Suns' like efficiency numbers, they didn't shoot that bad from overall field goal percentage or free throws or 3-point or whatever like that. It's just the fact that the Nuggets are taking and making more threes, and they just got buried in that. Like, you really can't say that the Suns played a really bad game aside from maybe committing a couple really bad turnovers back to back. Here's the Ayton play.
Here it is.
I mean,
crazy, bro.
Granted, they
He's just kind of sitting there,
fine, but like, my goodness, you are like, it's like, hey, they're trying to get rebounds. Maybe somebody should go do it. Oh wait, I'm the big guy.
Number 1 overall pick, by the way. Just letting y'all know. Number 1 overall pick.
Indy, bro. Let him be with Reese. That's it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, I don't want to overreact, but the Nuggets really seem to be rolling. It's not past the Suns. They have such good players. I mean, Chris Paul's getting old at this point, but like, maybe he can pull out a vintage CP3, be a point guard once again to set up Durant and Booker and Okogie and some of their other outside shooters to maybe try and match how potent this Denver offense has been. But like, I mean, it just looked dominant from Denver. And even that's saying something because the Suns didn't necessarily play that bad of a game. Denver's 14 steals. I mean, Phoenix just has to take care of the ball better. Bruce Brown's like 2 back-to-back steals and dunks off of KD's turnovers too. That just really electrified the whatever the heck Denver calls their arena. I don't know.
Ball arena.
I think you guys
Clever.
are all right about the whole 3-point, 2-point comparison. I mean, the Suns had a way better field goal percentage, but they shot 14 less threes. And threes, if you make them, they win. They determine the series. You win the games. Like that's just crazy. Look at that. Look at that contrast right there. It's just nuts.
Because KD, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker, they love one of their favorite shots is the least valuable shot in basketball, and that's the mid range.
They would be a great '90s team.
Yeah.
They would beat the 95-96 Bulls.
Oh.
They need.
I just want to see reaction. I'm kidding.
They probably would beat the Sonics, but that's it. I would probably.
Oh yeah, Sean Kemp would have absolutely, or not Sean. Yeah, Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp, yeah, and Gary Payton.
Yeah. No, KD and Booker would give him fits.
Yeah, for sure. But like they would not survive. I mean, they're trying to replicate a really old game plan because they are comfortable with it. And no, they need shooters who actually can shoot threes. And they can shoot threes, sure, but that's not their MO.
Yeah, I think KD and Booker combined to take like 4 the entire game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you're down that much and you're trying to fight your way back against a team that's absolutely just red hot from behind the 3-point line, you got to do something there.
Yeah. Also, Denver took 17 more shots too, so.
There you go.
Yeah, I honestly think it's. I mean, I know it's won one game, but I mean, I see what the Nuggets are doing that the Phoenix Suns aren't. So it's
open and shut, in my opinion.
Yep. I mean, the Nuggets are 19 and 22 on the road, so I won't say the Phoenix Suns will be swept. I'll say that they'll probably steal or take one game. Yeah. On their home floor in Phoenix, maybe 1 or 2 games, but other than that, it's a wrap. It sucks too because the Suns really this is their last chance really. Like they don't have much. Their window is closing fast after this year.
Yeah, people are getting old. Contracts are expiring. It's
with the LA Clippers. Their season's over. It's sad. It's really sad to me. I remember when I was 23 years old. It was 2019, and I was just kind of walking on. I think it was like I was working at a restaurant at the time, and I was closing and walking out. It's like 12:30 a.m. or 1 o'clock in the morning. Just walking down the street to my car, and I get these like notifications from NBA Retweet saying that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are going to LA. And I'm like, holy shit! The LA Clippers are gonna be awesome. After Kawhi Leonard won the championship in Toronto, holy shit, this 2019-2020 NBA season is going to be freaking bananas. 4 years later.
Still waiting for it to happen, right?
Still waiting for it to happen. I'm not a Clippers fan by any means. I'm just, I'm a Paul George guy. I like Paul George. Kawhi Leonard's, and like he's a weird guy, like to be honest. He's got a weird laugh. But
it's a fun guy.
Hey.
I'm a fun guy. But I love watching him play. Like that Toronto Raptors series against the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals was awesome. Also, the Sixers game-winning shot, that was amazing too. Just so cinematic during that time. But to see him kind of just go through injury after injury, and then they weren't even able to make it to the conference finals when they're both healthy in the bubble. And they had Doc Rivers, so like you can put the blame on him because Ty Lue. I mean, I know Ty Lue was part of the coaching staff, but he wasn't the coach. But you could do that, but I don't really count the bubble as a playoff. Sorry, Milento, I don't. But
it's fair.
Still, in the 21, 22, 23 season, they're all injured. Like they've been injured every single year, and it's just sad to see. Like you have 2 heavyweights, you got 2 really good defensive players, 2-way players as well. They play really well together. I believe I saw a stat. Whenever Kawhi and PG were on the floor, they won about 70% of their games, regular season and playoffs. And they were probably only on the court 41% or 42% of the time that they were on the Clippers. The rest of the time, the other half, like that's over 50%, is the bench players, the supporting cast. Just honestly, sad. Thoughts? What are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Clippers are cursed. I mean, Matt has it here. They played 118 games together, which isn't even a season and a half, not including the playoffs. 38 playoff games together in George and Kawhi. I mean, also throw into the fact that DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, and Blake Griffin, all in their prime, didn't even get to a Western Conference final. I really do think the Clippers are cursed. I mean, that's two different times that they are legit finals threats, and they don't even get to the conference finals. It's not looking good, and it's not like they have like any young bright stars. Like it's not like they really have a future. Because they were in the playoffs, they don't have a high draft pick. Like there's not really any direction this team's going in, except for choking in April.
Yeah, or not being available in April.
Yeah, that too. Like the LA hospital gets more action than the Clippers do.
Yeah, whatever LA hospital they go to.
Brian brings up a good point that, like, granted, they still have good players and they have decent seasons. They continually pull out, like, they were the 5 seed this year, right? So they were 5. They hang around like that 4 to 6 range seed, which isn't bad. But if you're not like making any noise in the playoffs, which they have not done, not even in the bubble, what's the point? You're getting a lower draft pick. You're not getting as highly touted prospects. You're really not creating like a culture that's like like a winning culture or something like that, where like maybe some veterans who want to like go ring chase a little bit, or like, oh yeah, I want to go play for that team, and like really I can make them like they're a couple pieces away from doing that. If you're not making any noise, no one's really going to want to like go ahead and play for a team like that, no matter who you have. It doesn't help that we've said it many times, Kawhi and PG are just always seem to be hurt, and they have to trot out just whatever replacements they can scrounge up there. And the worst part of it all, I think the most frustrating part for Clippers fans, is one of the pieces they sent away in the Paul George trade, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is probably going to make an All-NBA first team this year. The Thunder might not be like all in terms of their as of like team success, but like seeing him do the stuff that he did this year in terms of just like his volume scoring, just how efficient he was able to be at points. I mean, that just has to hurt if you're a Clippers fan. I'm sorry, Clippers fans, for like really ragging on you here.
Yeah.
But
Do y'all remember that series before the 2019 offseason when they still had Shea on the team? Whenever they were the 8th seed and Pat Beverly was on the team as well.
Yeah.
30-point comeback.
Yeah.
Because they took him to 6 games or
They took
something?
the Warriors to 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a solid team. Like it was people rooted for them. It was cool. It was good to get behind their cause. And now it's like it's just not there. There's nothing there. There's no real Clippers culture, I guess. I don't know. I think Matt brings up most of the team is most of the people that are in the rotation will be coming back, other than Russell Westbrook and Plumlee. But at what point do you have to accept defeat if you're this front office? Where is this going? Honestly, because I don't even know. I don't know where this could go. If they haven't done it in years past, what do they expect to change next year, 2 years down the line, whatever it happens to be? What is the couple year out plan for this team? I don't know, and I'm not even sure the front office knows. They keep throwing these pieces out there, and nothing is sticking. Something's got to change.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm personally of team blow it up, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're just going to run it back again for year 5, and then Kawhi, PG have player options. I guess they kind of just go from there. And I saw Lawrence Frank, their GM, said that they want to bring Russ back. So I expect Russ to probably be back. And then I saw a clip this morning about PG saying that they found their point guard, talking about Russ. So I think Russ is probably going to be back, and they're just going to go for year 5 and see if something changes, which we've seen 4 years now, and I don't think much is going to change. You can load manage all you want. Ty Lue load managed Kawhi all through the regular season, played him heavy minutes in the playoffs, and he tore his meniscus.
Yep.
And yeah, you can load manage all you want, but it doesn't really change the players. I don't know what you can do moving forward. I guess you just hold out the slight chance of hope that year 5 is maybe the magic year, but I have serious doubts about this team and their direction moving forward for sure.
If the Clippers don't do well, if they're not a top 6 seed, heading into the trade deadline in January and February next year. Trade all the assets, blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they should do.
You got to get some return for all those pieces that you assembled all those years ago, right?
Yeah.
You got to do something. But as Brian said, maybe they're just cursed.
But how much are you going to get for PG and Kawhi? Because I feel like some teams probably view them as damaged goods at this point, right?
They're damaged goods, and they're also. Do they have 1 year left on their contract next year?
Yeah, after next year they have player options.
Play options. Okay, so they're not like unrestricted free agents after the 2024 season.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so they have an option.
They have an option. Okay, all right. So that'd be actually a pretty good option for teams who maybe desire either PG or Kawhi. I don't think they would want both because that would be too much damaged goods.
Yeah.
So.
Defective at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Return to sender.
Yeah. Brian, you got anything to add on this one?
No, I mean, you guys pretty much said everything in addition to what I said. So.
Clippers suck. That's about it.
Damn straight.
Clippers are a joke.
For the
I should have one of those soundboards where it's like,
Yeah.
But I'll get one for a rainy day. All right, last segment. We got Celtics and Sixers. Game 1 is tonight, or it's actually happening. Is it happening right now?
Right
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it happening right now? Man, all right.
What's the score?
So,
it's 36-31 Celtics.
second quarter or first quarter?
Still the first. End of
wow.
the first.
All right, I'll probably
You bet
tune into
the
it
over.
after we tape this. But yeah, Joel Embiid is out for game 1. This is like another case of Joel Embiid being injured. This feels like deja vu from last year. Did the Heat play the Sixers last year? In the playoffs, in the semis?
I believe so. I want to say yeah.
I want to say yeah as well. I mean, I know it's not the Heat, it's the Celtics, but Embiid is injured again. And James Harden has to carry the load as a 33-year-old with really bad knees and bad hamstrings. It's, yeah. I mean, if Embiid was healthy and he was on the team playing for him, I would think the Sixers have a chance. But if it's just Harden, who's not Houston Rockets James Harden, if Embiid's out for the whole series, which I doubt will happen, I think he'll probably be back maybe for game 2 or 3 if he really pushes it. But they are saying that this injury is much more serious than a grade 1 LCL sprain. So that could be a whole nother can of worms there. I think Celtics in 5 or 6. I mean, I kind of wish. I mean, I predicted that both my teams won't be in the finals. Both my predictions. The Grizzlies are out because of freaking Dylan Brooks and his antics, and of course you got Adams and whoop that trick. My God, the Lakers doing whoop that trick at like the last match of the fourth quarter.
I loved it.
Up by 40,
but it was great.
I ain't talking to anybody until they hit 40 on me. Yeah, they hit 40 on you, the whole entire freaking team.
You talking?
Point of loss.
Yeah, but yeah, and also the Sixers. I predicted the Sixers would make the finals because I don't know. I just wanted to. Everyone kept saying Bucks, and look how well that turned out. Now the Celtics are the team to beat in the East, and it looks like they might have a better chance of beating the Sixers with Embiid out. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Because obviously we know what Joel Embiid can do for himself offensively. Averaged, I think, 33 points per game in the regular season, which hasn't been done since also, I believe, Kareem as a center. So obviously we know as a scorer, but we saw in the Nets series where you can't even do without the ball because if they're going to double team them and you focus too much on Embiid, they're going to pass it out to those role players Tobias Harris, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey.
Wait, did you just call James Harden a role player?
Okay, sorry. They're supporting cast. Relax, Houston over there.
Yeah, if I'm a Houston fan.
Yeah.
Well, not many exist, but over there. But
Houston is like the third largest city. Watch it, Brian. Watch it.
I only hear you talking.
Look. I know you're sad. You're sorry Knicks lost game 1. Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
I know you're a little sassy. Okay. I understand. I understand.
Yeah,
But
I'm unironically wearing Cavs colors just for Andy too.
It's weird too. Yeah.
I mean, it's Arizona
Cavs
State.
in 10.
No, but before I saw like the Trident, I'm like, is that a Cavs shirt?
No.
that Brian's wearing?
No, but sorry, supporting cast, not role players. Embiid dishes to the supporting cast and hits and they score. So obviously Embiid could do more with and be impactful even if he's shooting the ball. And if it's as serious as it is, then I guess it's another year we have to hear him say trust the process. But I do think the Celtics are winning the series, especially if Embiid isn't playing. This could be a gentleman's sweep. Because, I mean, obviously it's only 1 quarter of game 1, but we're seeing the James Harden show. Oh, my voice cracked. Already has 16 points. Well, Tobias Harris has 6. Maxey has 3. D'Anthony Melton has 3. Like, the 76ers won't win a series if it's just James Harden and, not much else. As opposed to the Celtics, who are getting more diverse scoring. Jaylen Brown has 14. Tatum has 6. Derek White has 2 and 2, with Malcolm Brogdon having 10 off the bench. If that's the Celtics, it seems like this whole thing, this whole playoff series and each series is just coming down to what team has more depth, and that's the Celtics by a country mile, especially if Philly Embiid isn't good to go. Excuse me, it's the most points at center since Shaq in 2000. So. I think the Celtics are going to win the series. As much as it would be nice to see the whole city of Philadelphia choke, like Jeremy and I have talked about, in the championship, I think Boston gets past Philly here.
You kind of have to look at the history of Joel Embiid's injuries in the playoffs and injuries in the regular season. I mean, since he was drafted, in 2014, he was out for 1 year. But he had to trust the process. I mean, he's one of the best centers in the league, if not the best in the league. Went on the floor, but once he's injured, and he gets injured a lot, he becomes a non-factor, and the Sixers fall apart. Sorry, I had a stroke there. But yeah, I feel like the Celtics deserve this more than the Sixers because the Celtics need that revenge tour. They need to be able to get back to the finals and beat whoever is at the West, whether it's the Lakers, Warriors, or Nuggets. I'm not counting the Suns. So
damn, he's not wrong, but damn,
I'm not counting the Suns, man. The Suns are a joke.
Someone record that. If they come back and win, you gotta post that.
Yes, Charles Barkley. If you watch this, which I kind of wish you would, it'd be awesome. Subscribe,
I'll tweet
please.
at him.
Subscribe. But the Suns are a joke. He probably admitted it on Inside the NBA. He probably
guarantee.
Hey,
whatever the hell he says.
Anytime he says that, it's like the opposite of guaranteed.
Pretty much. Easy money.
Imagine this hospital team: Derrick Rose, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid. Oh God.
God's fault.
Oh jeez.
For the 4 games out of 82 they play together, they'd be unstoppable.
For guys, for viewers who are listening to this in audio, Brian typed out, imagine this hospital team: Derrick Rose, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Joel Embiid. Who's the 5th guy?
I don't know.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. Come on, Anthony Street Clothes Davis. Brian.
My guy.
Yeah, I would actually. That's a fire team. Prime D Rose, Paul. Actually, no. Let's do Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose post ACL. Let's do Pandemic P. Let's do Kawhi Leonard post Zaza Pachulia dirty play, and Joel Embiid with that orbital fracture on his face. Perfect team. And then Zion when he's 300 pounds.
Mountain Dew Zion.
Mountain Dew.
Zion Williamson, fat, will be out for tonight's game.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ.
And I don't want Pandemic P touching my team, bro. That was a
hell no.
Getting the side of the backboard. My God.
But yeah.
Sixth man of the year, JR. I don't know the score, Smith.
Shut up.
Legend.
Okay, it's not funny anymore.
Laker legend, J.R. Smith.
Laker legend, J.R. Smith. Hey,
Big legend.
There you go.
Nick legend.
Nuggets legend, guys. Come on.
And Dion Waiters, Laker legend as well. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Deion Waiters.
Hey, we drafted him, all right? So we don't like him either.
Hey,
got two.
dude, do you guys remember that duo, that potential duo of Kyrie Irving and Dion Waiters? Wasn't that sweet?
Listen, when I went to those Cavs games when tickets were $4, and I had to see like Kyrie Irving, Dion Waiters, like Ramon Sessions,
Oh my god.
and like a 45-year-old Antoine Jameson, and one of the older Zeller brothers who was terrible. I think Tyler maybe.
Jesus Christ. Anthony Bennett.
Oh yeah. It took him like 5 games to hit a field goal or something like that.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat. Donovan Mitchell in his first like 35 games as a Cavs scored more points than Anthony Bennett ever did in his NBA career. Giannis went 15 in that draft. Fun fact. I hate my life.
Ooh.
Anyways,
he was a raw build. He was raw.
yeah, no one was taking him that early, but it just sucks because it's like
very raw.
we couldn't
Like
even gotten like Nerlens Noel or like Ben McLemore. I mean, they didn't turn out all right, but they did something. We had to take Anthony Bennett out of NC State.
Yeah, we know, Brian. Okay, we know.
Yeah, the Knicks sucked, dude. We get
the
it.
The Knicks were really bad that year. Those years.
Did you even look?
No, but
I did not.
I know the first player I'm going to see
I know.
on there is going to be Alexei Shved or something like that.
Oh my
He's
god,
on there.
That's a name.
I know he is. Yeah,
Pablo Prigioni.
wasn't he like 35 when he debuted or something? Like, he was old.
No,
as shit.
Jeremy, it's worse than that. It's Langston
All right, hold on.
Galloway, Alexei Shved, Andrea Bargnani,
Bargnani.
Lua Munson, and Lance Thomas against the mighty Lakers of Jordan Clarkson, Wayne Ellington, Tariq Black, Jordan Hill, and Wesley Johnson.
Dude, Tariq Black was a dog, bro.
Rockets legend Tariq Black. He was a dog on the
he was a dog,
inside
bro.
end. He was a
Yeah,
dog,
the
man.
He was like
Andrea-
6'2" as a center, but he was a
Marcelo
dog.
Huertas.
The same
my God.
Andrea
Also a
Bargnani
legend.
that airballed the dunk. Keep in mind, we also gave up a first-round pick for him.
James Dolan doing work.
Wesley Johnson.
He's doing work.
Well, all of our teams
Phil
have
Jack-
been really bad recently.
I think that was the Phil Jackson era.
I think it was.
Oh, that's right. When he tried to implement the triangle with Melo, Rose, and Porzingis.
Dingus
Yes.
Tingus Pingus from Latvia, right?
Yeah.
Latvia.
All right. Do we have anything else to mention about the Celtics and Sixers as they play their first game right
I'll
now?
keep it short real quick. Brian already touched on this. Embiid's got a lot of points for the rest of the team to make up. They have a lot of other scorers, but they're not making up all those points. The Celtics are taking this in 5.
Ooh, 5
That's all I'll say.
games.
Yeah.
If Embiid stays off the floor.
I think even if Embiid comes back, my guess is he'll be back in Game 3 at the earliest. I think the Celtics still take it in 5.
Okay. He'll be probably not 100%, so I just voice cracked there, by the way, 100%.
It's contagious. The hell, Brian?
Yeah, it's contagious. Brian, I hate you, man. Get the fuck off here.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I hate both, actually.
Well, Jeremy struggles at the grid game, so yeah, that makes sense.
Whoa.
Damn.
Speaking of the grid game, we are going to head into that. If you enjoyed this segment of the NBA playoffs, do not forget to drop a like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Helps out the algorithm, all that stuff. Also follow Back Sports page, YouTube, all the socials included. And yeah, Andy and Matthew, thank you for joining us. And we will head into the NBA grid game if you want to stick around. So